Hi, oh. I just start making soap. I don't even talk. Just say hello. Righto, okay, yeah, sorry. I mean, I suppose there's plenty of soap makers who don't talk. And they're the ones with all the subscribers. Listen, if I was in this for the money, I would do this so differently. I wouldn't talk for a start. I'd do all this fancy soap making and music and shit, but hey, you all know that's not me. I don't know, I started on a high horse, 39 seconds in and already I'm having a whinge and I don't even know at what. I will apologise in advance. There'll probably be some coughing and some sneezing and some carrying on. I do not have COVID, I have allergies, and I'm pretty confident now that it is fragrances that do it, which is really sad. But when I first moved into this house, I had the soap curing rack down here in the soap room and all the fragrances and everything. So upstairs there was no smells at all, no fragrances, nothing. Everything was down here, and it wasn't too bad. And then I moved the soap curing rack up into the kitchen, which is basically just outside the office door, which is where I spend most of my time. And I've noticed, and I've been making soaps again, and I've noticed that since I've been making soaps and smelly things, and having the curing rack up there, it's just been constant. Like, my eyes are constantly red and itchy, and I've got the black bags underneath my eyes again, and I can't breathe, and yeah. So I'm constantly out of breath even when I'm not doing anything. Like, right, I'm just standing here doing this, right, and have not been running around. All I did was pour some oils into this, and I am so, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm super out of breath. And it's just because I just feel like I can't get enough into me. Anyway, yeah, I covered up the soap rack with a sheet so it still gets air, but it's like the smells aren't sort of coming out. And I've just noticed that just like yesterday afternoon, because I didn't spend any time down here yesterday at all, I felt so much better. So, I mean, it's anecdotal evidence, but it's, you know, without going and getting allergy tests, like I've had blood tests and they showed nothing. They said that I wasn't allergic to anything. So I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, unless I go and do pinprick tests, I we'll never know, I guess, and I just don't want to do that. So now that that's out of the way, I don't know why that needed to be in the way. We're making 50 Shades. I thought this was a fairly calm fragrance I could deal with today, although already I can smell it. It's already doing my head in. The design for this is black bottom, mica line, grey drop swirl, and a mica dusting on top. Right, grey drop swirl. We have no white, so we need a bottom, and then we need a grey drop swirl. Okay, so we only need a smaller container for that. What we'll do is we'll do a pale grey and a darker grey drop into it. Yeah, that works for me. I cannot for the life of me remember how 50 Shades behaves. It's been a very long time since I've made this fragrance. So long that I don't have any in stock. So she had no design to look at, to choose a design, which is why I suggested this. I like 50 Shades. I think it's a really nice fragrance. It's not as punch you in the face as 1 Million. It's also, it's more of a aftershave-y, fresh, whereas I find 1 Million to be really sexy. It's got more of that sort of musky kind of undertone to it, whereas 50 Shades is more sort of like higher notes, you know, more top notes, where it's more fresh. So it's very green. I like it. Alright, so everything's in here already, which is why I've been mixing it. So let's give this a bit of a stick blend and then we'll get started. My apologies also for you guys not getting videos for so long. By the time you see this, I hopefully will have been uploading a bit more regularly, but it's just, I'm struggling at the moment, honestly. It's just, bipolar is a pain in the ass sometimes. I just struggling. So I'm just trying to work through it and do what I can. Which is just work through it and try to fight against it. Like getting out of bed today was a struggle. I got up, fed the cats, and then got back into bed. Even though the whole time I'm berating myself for getting back into bed because it was already 10:30. And then I laid there for about a half an hour. I couldn't go back to sleep anyway because my head was just racing. And I was about to pour that in there, so I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, so I berated myself enough to get out of bed. So I did, and I got up and I've come down here because I have this wholesale order and I'm being a bit slack with it. I know that I am. I wanted to have these all done already. She's a customer, she's counting on me to get shit done, and I don't want to let people down. I'm just struggling, so it's not an excuse though, and I don't like using it as an excuse. It's just a little hard right now. But I keep fighting, and eventually I'll get through this one. Hopefully this one won't last as long as the last one. I don't know why. It's generally this time of year. I don't think it's got anything to do with my birthday because I literally do not give a shit about getting older. But I think maybe the change in the weather, when it starts getting cooler, I'm not a fan of the cold, so that could be it. Oh dear. Alright, now I want this layer to be black, but I also don't want people to have super grey, I was going to say foam, that's not what the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for, guys? Leather, that's the one. But we would like this to be pretty black. Although it is 50 Shades of Grey, not 50 Shades of Black, so, which I guess grey is, shades of black. What do you reckon? I think we could probably just go just a little tiny bit darker than that. It's a good thing with AC is it doesn't require much to make it darker. I'm going to put the lid on that because I know if I spill activated charcoal, I'll never get it cleaned up. And we all know I'll probably spill it. I'm so clumsy. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I'm going to take this out because if I don't need to stick blend it, I probably won't, unless it doesn't thicken, and then I'll have to because this is a layered soap. You know what? That's exactly what's going to happen. This is going to be really well behaved. Seriously, this is what's going to happen. I just know it. Just know it in my bones. In my bones, I tell ya. In my waters. That's an old one, isn't it? Odd saying. I can feel it in my waters. I don't have any waters. Although we are made up of what, like 80% water or some shit. I don't know. I'm just waffling now. That is just behaving beautifully. Of course it is. Of course it is. Oh dear. This is very nice. I do like this fragrance. But yes, we are behaving far too well, so. Alright, we're going to stick blend that because it's not thick enough. Oh Christ, it's always the way. It is thickening a little, but not enough. Oh, it's too funny. You know what? I'm just going to put that. Yeah, I can just put that in there because I'm going to make that a pale grey. And then I'm going to. That's still not thick enough. Because I need to do a drop swirl in it. Oh, it should be right. It'll be right. Alright, so there's too many things in the way now. Yeah, no, that should be alright. Yeah, it'll be fine. That's very nice. I like that. It's not black, but it's pretty dark. So I'll make sure that nothing else is this dark in the top, so it looks different. We probably could have gone with this a little bit more AC. Alright, there we go. First layer done. Actually, I don't need a different container. I'll just use that one because it's going to be grey anyway. Less washing up is always a good thing. Oh, okay, so let's clean that up because we're going to do a... Wow, no, that's too loose. This is not going to work. Shit. Well, shit. Why is it so loose? It's so loose. Stop it. Oh, Jesus. Always the way. Always the way. So this is called Flash. I do not have any Silver Lake left, so I couldn't do a silver Michaeline, but this looks quite silver. It's not white, it's got silver tones, so I thought this would work perfectly. Silver Lake is not that different from this anyway. Come on, I need you to go to the sides. Thank you. The only problem with these moulds is they're a little hard to do a Michaeline down so low. How we go? Is there any left? There's none left in there. I'll put a little bit more in because we do want a good solid Michaeline. I have a feeling this is not going to work. I have a feeling that this, because this is so loose, this bottom layer is going to move. The problem is, I don't know if I can leave it because this will thicken. Although if I put the fragrance in it, it may not. We might have to do that. Okay, I'm just going to put that to the side for now. And then I'll give this a bit of a mix around just by hand. Now, I'm actually going to put some black pearl in this, just a little bit. And then I'll give that a quick blitz, and then we'll pour some off and we'll make that darker. Then we'll put the fragrance in and see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, every single bubble from the universe is now in there, which is great job, Lee. Great job. Alright, I don't know why I'm doing that. Actually, you can just pop in there. And I'll pour some off for a drop swirl into here. If I can get that out of the way. Can you see what I'm doing? I guess you can. Alright. So this is loose anyway. I think we'll be alright. Right, so we need some more black pearl in this. Now, if you're picking up the green notes, that is exactly what it looks like right now. Black pearl does tend to go a bit green, but the grey tends to, it comes back to grey. I actually probably don't need to do that. Although that this fragrance doesn't do anything stupid, so I probably don't need to stick blend it back out of the way. I'm running out of room because I cut 3 soaps yesterday and they're just sitting over there. I don't like how dark that is. Just going to add a little bit extra just to lighten it up a bit. Just so it's not as dark as the bottom. I think that's much better. Now, that has set up a little bit. I'll bring it over, I don't know if you can see. When I wobble it, it's not too bad. My worry is if I pour this in and then drop the drop swirl in, it's going to upset the bottom. And I don't want to do that. So, but I now know. I should, yeah, see, I've made this before and I have in my notes how it behaves. I just didn't check them. This is completely and utterly my fault. I'm so unprofessional. It's not even unprofessional, it's just, well, it is, but it's just, I just don't think of these things. Again, this is why I should have my soap workbook filled to the brim with all the notes, because I know lots of things about lots of fragrances, and I make soap workbooks which are friggin' awesome, I might add, if I do say so myself. And if I had it here on hand, I could have just looked up 50 Shades and I would have known, wouldn't I? But no. So that's the thing, I have also wanted to make myself my very own one without the testing, because I test fragrances, but I just need to write down fragrances. I don't need to write down like test batches and, you know, all that sort of stuff so much. I mean, because I'm not really making soaps for a living anymore, that might be something to look at. I don't know. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the lack of wobble on that right now. Lack of wobble. that's my technical terms. Sorry, I have to check the phone when it makes noises because I am expecting food deliveries today. Yeah, that was multiple deliveries because Coles and Woolies are stupid, because Coles doesn't have the frozen meals that I want and Woolies doesn't have tallow. And neither does the IGA out here, so I have to order tallow online now. Alright, so I'm just going to go really, really slowly here, and I'm just going to get a layer. I'm not even really moving it very much, just so I can get a layer nice and neatly on top of here. This is probably going to punch through. This probably won't, but I have a feeling that the drop swirl might. If it does, it does. I mean, it's soap. There's not much I can do about it. If I had have been more prepared instead of just being a depressed asshole, this would have gone a lot better. Trust me, internally, I am beating myself up for being a dickhead. Well, I mean, you know, at the very least, it smells good. So when I drop this colour, I'm not going to drop it from a height. I'm just going to drop it from fairly low. And we'll see how that goes. Right, put you in there. Right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this over here. So as you can see, it's not particularly high. That's where the container is. This is about how high I'm coming. So we'll see when we cut it tomorrow, won't we? And I'm going a little bit higher now because there's more soap to punch through. Now we're doing a mica dusting on the top of this, so I'm going to just not worry too much about what this looks like on top, because it doesn't matter because it's going to have mica on it anyway. Did we discuss what colour? Just mica dusting. There was no mention of colour. Okay. This is probably a little thin to texture yet though, but we'll have a look. I am not keeping up with the washing up. I need to get that dishwasher sorted. I need a $20 brass connection from Bunnings, but at the moment I just really can't afford a $20 brass connection from Bunnings. So yeah. So for anyone who thinks I'm rich, think again. I am really not rich at all. Which is kind of annoying considering how hard I work. Look how loose this is. I'm just trying to create just a little bit of texture on the top here so that when the mica is dusted on it, you will see it and you will see this. So I'm just going to just turn that around that way. I'm just going to do the same colour again as what we did on the bottom layer. And if I could find a spoon, which is in there, that's fine. We'll get a new spoon. Alright. Yes. I don't charge enough to be rich for anything. I'm well aware of this. I've been told this so many times. I mean, I was on Etsy earlier and there's I don't know the name of the person. They are selling baker's cubes. I don't know if you know what a baker's cube is. They're kind of awesome. They're a cube that have like cup measurements and it's just a cube. 3D printed generally. You can get them not 3D printed as well. But that's kind of a new thing that 3D printing people are printing. But yeah, it has all the measurements in a cube, like cup, half a cup, quarter of a cup. Then all your teaspoons and tablespoons or tablespoons. They don't have tablespoons. Maybe I should make one with tablespoons. Oh dear. Yeah, and there was one on there for like $26, right? And by judging by the promo pictures, that person does not know how to use a 3D printer properly. And yeah, it was $21 or $26 and I was absolutely appalled. I mean, I would charge probably $8, $9 for that and it would be printed well. I mean, the whole reason I took the sprinkle sheets out of the shop was because I cannot currently print them well enough to, in my opinion, I don't think that they are nice enough to sell. And I'm not going to sell things to people that I don't think are quality enough. Even though I don't charge much for things, I still, if I don't think it's quality, I am not going to sell it. So I'm getting there, fixing the printers though. I think I'm almost there. So it just all happens at once, doesn't it? It really does. It just all happens at once. So there you go. That's kind of pretty. You can see it's when it goes. It does start to thicken, but it takes a while. So again, another one I would highly recommend for doing anything intricate. If you want a fragrance that's going to just continue being fluid for quite some time, that's a good one. And it's a fairly unisex fragrance as well. It's not super masculine. And I did find that women and men both bought this fragrance. So there's that. Alright, my friends. Thank you for putting up with my depressed ass. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, you can see the texture quite nicely, can't you? Look at that. So as you turn it around in the light. That's why you just always, if you're going to mica dust, always put just some sort of little texture on top or make it super flat. But yeah, I think that looks really pretty. I think that's really nice. I'm looking at it in the camera now instead of down on the ground. So down on the ground, it's not on the ground, on the bench. You know what I meant. Should stop being super specific. Alright guys, I will see you for the cutting. Ta-da! Hello. I was going to, oh god, this is strong. Now, first mention the fragrance leakage on top. See those coloured dribbles? That's actually fragrance leakage. And I'm also noticing this weird discoloration here. Now there is fragrance on the outside of it. I can feel it. So that may go away as it cures. It's kind of weird though. But it's soap. It does weird shit. It's a terrible camera angle, isn't it? Absolutely terrible. Let's turn you that way a smidgeroony. Just pull you across the bench, that's it. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this would turn out. Of course, the first one's never very exciting. Oh, okay. Maybe it's stuck in my pocket. That's better. Oh look, I didn't ruin it. I didn't ruin it. Wow, okay. Pouring up higher has stopped it from hitting the line, and you can actually see the mica line as well. Oh, okay. That turned out pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with that. Very good. Sorry for the throat clearing. It's just, that's who I am now. Now, this has done this weird thing that I have heard about with 50 Shades. And when they come up really close, let you see this side here, it's actually pink. Now, I've heard of this before. I think it might have happened, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's actually pink down the sides. Now, I think it will probably go away, but it will remain to be seen, I guess. But yeah, it's just one of those odd things. I'm going to guess it's the fragrance oil has some sort of weird discoloration, and for some reason it goes pink. But I'm really liking this soap. I'm really happy. I mean, seriously, how often do I do a line that's straight and on purpose and not wreck it? So that worked out a lot better than I hoped. I probably could have poured... Oh, sniffles already. Wow. Okay. I probably could have poured from a little bit higher, but I was a bit worried about it. So, you know, at least this way, it's still got some drops in it. And it still has a straight line. The other way that would have worked really nicely with this was if I had done an in the pot swirl with the top half, because then that would have meant the swirlies would have gone all the way down. But I think these are too dark and it would have looked weird. If these greys were a lighter grey and not as dark as the bottom, and then done an in the pot swirl, that would have been really nice. So, but I'm not hating on it. I think it looks really cool. I'm glad I suggested this design, to be honest. I put off coming down here to cut soap because I know I have to cut that goddamn dragon's blood. And you'll probably see this video before you see that video, but spoiler alert, I do not like dragon's blood at all. Not even a little bit. I've already organised it so that it can stay down here and cure, because I am not having that smell in my house. It is foul. I don't know what is wrong with you people. I do not want to cut it. I had even considered wearing my respirator whilst cutting it, because I mean seriously, I dislike it that much. It is quite pink. I don't think the camera is quite picking up, like even on the sides, is the camera actually picking up how pink that is? Not just all in here, and then it's very, very, I don't know how close we can get before it won't actually focus. There you go, look at that. It's very pink. So, I guess we'll see what happens. Guess we'll see. Alright, let me get this stupid dragon's blood cut, because I have a bunch of other things to do today. So, alright guys, I'll see you for the next one. Bye.